Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin. Today, we're doing episode 135 series. We're gonna try to put more pathways on. Like, we're putting pathways to make things a lot easier for all of us. Levers for the library. When it goes to retro gaming, with Game Boy cartridges, you know, it's not just economic competition that would help innovation. Economic planning would work too. And in the meantime, I'm gonna check on my crops. And this epic battle begins the final war. Tragedy will strike this day. Prepare thee for the unicorn invasion of Dundee. For me, I myself personally would sacrifice the flavor of the meat for the animals. When going vegetarian, there are some sacrifices you have to take. One of those sacrifices you must take would be the flavor of meat. Yet eventually you'll get used to your new diet. When you go vegetarian, you're not necessarily harming the plants, because plants can replenish themselves really quickly. I know. I'll be going on a harvesting spree. There are people out there who sacrifice the flavor of meat in favor of compassion. For me, I believe compassion is more important than the flavor of meat. Like, in the fascist country in my story, the diets people would be forced to eat would be a meat-only diet. People would be led to believe that feeding your children vegetables would be child abuse. Even if they like the vegetables, it's still considered child abuse. Same thing with feeding them nuts. Like, they'd forcibly breed children into becoming obligate carnivores. Breeding citizens of the fascist country into becoming obligate carnivores. Where they hunt in a very violent manner. Like, in the fascist country, you wouldn't be allowed to treat any animal whatsoever as pets. You can only treat them as food. That's how evil the people would be. They wouldn't just go towards extreme racism, but also speciesism, too. If I was to get a job, my suggestion to you is don't work for any fast food restaurants. Because their suppliers are really abusive towards animals. And their workers. Just like how... just like the fast food workers, the factory farm workers get paid poorly too. One thing that's going to happen in the communist revolution is that a lot of restaurants would become independent of the big box companies. Like, that'd be the first step. That'd be the first step towards bringing forth communism. Eventually, as the big businesses get collectivized, eventually the smaller businesses would end up getting collectivized too. I know this would be a gradual process that'll take several generations to happen. Through education, we could achieve peace. Out in the wild, interspecific competition is common. Imagine what it would be like if the whole world started taxing the rich. A lot of dictators will not like that. Especially the King of Saudi Arabia. But I'd like for the United Nations to do that. Start taxing the rich around the world. I know the King of Saudi Arabia, Kim Jong-un, and Donald Trump will probably end up lashing out, but must be done. Truth is, socialism is our only way forward in society. Socialism is actually our only way forward. Because prices can go down pretty easily in socialist systems. And I'm going back to the farming for now, so I could have some extra time to come up with ideas for what I should build next. Because I already built a school. And I've upgraded our energy system towards solar energy. What we need to do now The only communist rulers would I praise... The only communist rulers I would praise would be Vladimir Lenin, Leon Trotsky, Josip Tito, and Nikita Khrushchev. Because they all did a lot of good things. Trotsky helped Lenin overthrow the abusive Tsar Nicholas II. Yes, Tsar Nicholas II was really abusive. He was a really abusive dictator. Tsar Nicholas II, he is a really abusive dictator. Not only that, he held all the money he enslaved the entire Russian population. Vladimir Lenin helped the Russians helped liberate the Russians from the abusive Tsar. Yet when Stalin took power, he abused the Russians. Then Trotsky got murdered by Stalin, even though they were both communists. That Trotsky got murdered. The Aryan race theory is bullshit. The only race there is the human race. It is the only race there is. The real evil was both Stalin and Hitler. I definitely agree with George Orwell on that one. I oppose authoritarian regimes. I oppose authoritarian regimes. If I was to wage a conflict against Saudi Arabia, I'd go full on guided missile. I wouldn't want to carpet bomb Saudi Arabia. Like, I'd try to keep the civilians alive as long as possible. Not seduce the soldiers into going against the regime. Just like how Darth Sidious seduced Anakin into going against the Jedi. By going full on Darth Vader mode. Like, Anakin ended up being anointed the name Darth Vader right after he killed Mace Windu. When it goes to voice, many people, one of the fun facts is that Bender is voiced by the same, Jake the dog from Adventure Time is voiced by the same guy behind Bender, John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio. Just popping my knuckles, that's all. And eventually, in a future Minecraft episode, I think I'll think about building a high-rise. And you know, Ice King is also voiced by the same guy behind SpongeBob. Who, by the way, the creator is already dead. Sadly, the creator passed away not too long ago. About 2 weeks ago. From all around the world. Bob l'éponge. L'éponge. Bob l'éponge. It's literally French for Bob the Sponge, which literally means SpongeBob SquarePants. Anyways, this is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked this video. Dislike if you disliked it. Subs if you loved it. As always, stay tuned for more. As always, peace out.